love waiting.
Inspire us with your words.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
David, Mark, Danoff.
David.
Yeah. Dirty deeds.
Dirty D's. Who sang that?
Oh, I didn't see that.
So have you met? Did you meet Rob?
No. Yeah, I
Did you meet? Does he not look like you a little bit? I mean, it's his twin brother is here tonight. Rob, I mean, you kind of have, you know what I'm saying? And you both write like really good, and I don't know, you guys are brothers somehow.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we shook hands. We shook hands.
All right, I'm gonna just start off with one that's really fucking wacky. It's called The Pizza Man. I was too damn young to be married, and I knew it. I was 29 years old and had only fucked one woman, the same one for 9 years. I loved her, but I was miserable. Every time I encountered a beautiful young thing, let's say at a front door while I was delivering a pizza, I'd get so anxious I'd blush, my heart pounding into a panic. So much desire pent up, I wanted to fuck the girl before I could ask her name. I couldn't hold conversations with them. I was all emotion and rage and lust. One afternoon, I had it. My wife. My wife was still at work, and I was home alone, scanning the LA Times. I had an hour to kill before I had to be at Round Table Pizza. Horny, I thought about masturbating, but what I really wanted was to fuck some hot little 18-year-old bitch. Of course, I was too much of a chicken shit to leave my wife, so I had to fantasize and get perverted. Here's what I did.
Do we have to watch?
He's gonna do it.
In the chaos of that afternoon, I looked through the lingerie ads in the back of the paper and saw a sale on panties from Macy's. Getting an immediate boner, I dialed the number. Hello, the sales girl asked. Or said. Hello, I said in a woman's voice. I was wondering about the sale on panties. How many do you get, exactly? Oh, if you buy one pair, you get another pair for free. She bought it. That was the ticket. I rubbed my cock. I was ready to go.
That's all it did.
Okay. Okay, I said, almost laughing from the idea that this woman thought I had a pussy. Thank you very much. My pleasure, miss. She hung up the phone. I hung up, laid on the couch, and fucked the pillows, spewing into my hand. Shortly afterwards, I washed my hands, and then I greased my hair for work. I was a mess, a morbid ball of flesh. I couldn't believe I was about to deliver pizzas. I had a bachelor's degree, and yet I had to wander in the night like a 16-year-old kid. It wasn't easy. Especially since I read more books than most librarians. I was an unpublished writer. Fuck it, I knew the odds. In all probability, I wouldn't see my work in print for the next 10 or 15 years, if ever. More shit to get me down. But what tore into me most at that moment was the phone call. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I wasn't a fairy, but that sure as hell was some fairy-ass shit. Plus, this prank calling was becoming an addiction, a very unhealthy outlet. In the last 3 months, I called wedding shops, women's clothing stores, beauty salons, all in a female voice. I was beginning to feel like some deranged creature with one eye and boogers hanging from his lip. It was spooky. Some demon let loose from losing my mother at an early age. Jesus, I sighed, sitting on the couch. I picked up the paper, hoping to escape my thoughts, and read one of the headline stories. Yugoslavia was at war. Women were being raped. Sons were being killed. Entire families forced out of their homes into relocation camps. Curious, I read the story next to it. Students at Columbine High School in Colorado shot machine guns on campus and killed several teenagers. So much violence and rage and death in the world. Well, I thought at least I didn't hurt anybody. That still didn't ease my depression. It was too soon to forgive myself. I just sat there, terrorized for who I'd become. Waves of sweat and despair. The worst part about it was the fact that I had to get out there in my pizza hat and pretend I was happy, hiding the sad madness in my eyes. All right, now you know how much of a freak I am. If you
Buy
want
your
this
book.
book, it's called "It's the Shaking of the Ground That Crumbles Walls But Doesn't Crumble Trees." But this is kind of an old book, so I'm going to leave this one to the side and pick up some of these newer ones.
You're still working?
Where's the other ones? Ah.
Okay, this one's called "Notes of an Ordinary Man Held Captive in an Alien World." I think it's a pretty good title.
Cover looks nice.
Thanks. So I'll try and I'll read a few things here. This one's called "Loser." I was gardening. What a wine. I was gardening.
That's a tricky word.
Ah.
Gardening.
I was gardening. I was gardening for a while in some suburban lady's backyard. Then I went to painting houses. After that, I searched for restaurant jobs. I didn't have any luck. It wasn't the season for hiring. 2 months went by without finding work, hitting the pavement, applications, depression, anxiety. Then I got this driver job, delivering packages all over Costa Mesa, Garden Grove, and Huntington Beach. It was killing my car, so I quit within 2 weeks. Shortly after that, I almost landed a job at a mortuary picking up dead bodies. But the guy only offered me $7 an hour on call, so I said fuck it and left it at that. Then I ended up delivering pizzas at Round Table. I was 28 years old with a bachelor's degree. I stuck with that job for a good year. I liked that I could listen to music while driving around and getting paid for it. I hated the zigzagging chaos of finding addresses in the night, however. I didn't make enough money to pay the rent. So I finally quit that job and ended up as a waiter in a Cuban-Mexican restaurant across the street from the pizza place. I lasted a year, then hung on to a few banquet nights until I was fired for not showing up for a shift. Weeks later, I ended up substitute teaching in Downey. Like years before in Huntington Beach, I got kicked out of the district within 6 months. After that, I lasted years of sub in Long Beach till they kicked me out for too many write-ups written from teachers in the district. In between these jobs, I got divorced and moved into a shabby studio apartment next to an auto shop and a gay bar called the Silver Fox.
Woohoo!
I worked for more restaurants and lost more jobs, and through all these years, the people I met, the people I ran into from high school or from prior jobs, my relatives, my family, my friends, the parents of my friends, even my ex-wife thought of me as a loser.